Prime View, a program where we take the views of Nigerians all over the world, discuss them, and pose them to the political exposed. My name is Ms. Malin.
And I'm Spencer, and then you're welcome. You're welcome. The topic for today is fresh faces for the 2019 presidential race. And we have two wonderful guests today. And in the studio here with us today, we have Barrister Sympathy Chibiko Nwosu. He's a lawyer, a principal lawyer at Callister Solicitors. He's a former PDP chairman in the UK and currently the chairman Board of Trustees, PDP UK. And via video link, we also have another presidential aspirant who is aspiring to be president for the YPP, and his name is Engineer Donald Igwegbu, and he's aspiring to be the presidential, to be the president of Nigeria he's going for the top job as the president for the YPP. I'll start by welcoming you, sir, today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Can you tell Nigerians a little bit about yourself?
Well, like you like you rightly said, my name is Barrister Sympathy Chibiko Nwosu. I'm from Imo State, Igwegbu local government precisely. I had my primary and secondary education in Nigeria. I came over here and had my law degree, qualified as a solicitor. I am the principal of Callister Solicitors, like you rightly pointed out. I was the chairman PDP UK for 7 years. I'm currently the BOT chairman, that's Board of Trustees chairman of the party. I'm vying to serve my country, to put things right. Number one seat, the presidency. So I'm aspiring, yes.
Via the PDP, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, and the same question goes to Mr. Donald Igwegbu. Mr. Donald is on via video link from Aberdeen. Are you there, Mr. Donald?
I am here, but just wondering if you guys have seen me, because the network cut off a while ago.
We really cannot see you, but they're getting that sorted in the studio.
Okay.
Yeah. And while we're waiting to get you connected, can we actually continue in the studio? Since you can still hear us, we'll get back to you, Mr. Donald.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. And the other thing is, do you want to ask Barrister?
I'd like to find out from you what the agenda you have for Nigeria. If you're aspiring to be the president, I mean, the current president had an agenda he had a 3-point agenda, which was to fight corruption, security, and the economy. I would like to know what your own agenda for Nigeria is, or if you have any sort of a plan, a structured plan.
Well, my agenda is similar to what you just read, which is the agenda of the incumbent president. But with addition, well, economy is very vital to any country. So I will ensure that we have a robust an economy that can be the envy of the world. Of course, security, you can see what's happening today. In my regime, if I become the president, you wouldn't have such senseless killing and going on in my country. No. So security is there. Corruption, yes, of course, is endemic. It's a cancer in Nigeria, and there's need for that to be fought in all fronts. So I will be doing that. Then, of course, you cannot grow an economy without uninterrupted electricity. So my priority will be also to do the right thing, that is to energize my country. And I have a plan, a very, very, very dynamic plan to ensure that within my tenure, the first year, second year, Nigeria will be properly energized. Yes. Those are I don't want to overboard, but all these are encompassed in the program of building a better nation. A better nation, a nation that we can be proud of, a nation we can leave for our children and grandchildren to inherit and be proud of their parents. Yes.
Mr. Donald, are you still with us, sir?
Yes, I'm there. I'm here.
Okay, and were you able to hear Barrister?
Yes, I had Barrister.
Okay, the question to you now, before you answer the question, please, can you tell the Nigerians and viewers all over the world a little bit about yourself?
All right, Malim, thank you very much. My name is Donald Ikechukwu Igwegbu. I'm a Nigerian. I hold a Bachelor of Engineering degree in Mechanical Engineering, a Master of Science degree in Oil and Gas Engineering. I am a Chartered Engineer with the UK Engineering Council, a Chartered Marine Engineer, and a Fellow of the Institute of Marine Engineering, Science and Technology. Just recently, I've just been nominated for an honorary doctorate degree award by the Commonwealth University and the London Graduate School. That will be happening later in the year in Dubai. So I'm a Democrat. I'm someone who believes in rule of law. And I believe that as a nation, we are yet to get there. But before I discuss about my policy position, this is just a brief background about myself. The most important thing is that I'm a Nigerian and I want to promote the I am a Nigerian ideology. Thank you.
And under what platform are you trying to do that?
I'm hoping to run for the presidency under the platform of the Young Progressive Party, YPP. Thank you.
Mr. Barry, should I say Barrister, pardon me. If Nigerians vote you now, or if you're voted to be the president of Nigeria, how do you see the security system now, and what do you intend to do to change what's going on? A lot of killings are happening in Nigeria, and right now, APC, we've been crying out in our previous programs. APC hasn't been doing much. So how do you think you can, phase out few of the security problems we have in Nigeria?
Well, like I said in my other programs, the number one citizen is the president. So the bulk, all the responsibility lies on him. The bulk lies on his table. The security situation in my country today is regrettable. You can see the senseless killing. You can see what happened in the southeast earlier this year and late last year. There's lack of security. But let me take the one that is happening now in northern Kaduna and Benue. You see, and the headsmen, for example, you cannot lead a country and allow such to continue. Every president owes a duty of care to the people that he's leading. Mr. Buhari, President Buhari, owes all Nigerians a duty of care to protect our lives and property. And that duty is equally enshrined in our constitution, where it says that the job, the responsibility of every government is to protect life and property. That is important. If I am the president, I will ensure that I send a presidential delegation to the parts of the country that these killings are happening. Because I know that there are mosques, there are Christians, there are Muslims, there are community leaders, there are people that lead people, that talk to people. It's a question of going out there and speaking to them. Let them see reason that we are all one Nigeria, and there's no need for them to kill their own brothers and sisters and children. You can end that by talking. We ended the IRA terrorism in this country by talking. Everything is not by sending in soldiers and police. No. Talk sense into your own brothers as to why they shouldn't go about killing their own people. Don't have 1 million years to live. We should live in peace and harmony as one Nigeria. So I will take that approach. I will take that approach, yes.
Barrister Sympathy, before we'll probably quickly go back to Donald, if you can hear us. What I would like to find out from you is, you can see that the current administration are trying to implement, come in with solutions. For instance, they think ranching could be a solution to the problem. You're talking about talking to the people. I think they've been doing a lot of talking, and I don't think it's helping. The current administration thinks ranching could be a solution. What do you think of that? Do you think ranching is a problem, a solution to the problem?
I've said this in my other programs. Ranching, to an extent, yes, but not in all the states. Rearing cow is a business. Most people are vegetarian, they don't eat cow. So to those who eat cow, it is beneficial to them. So the point is, when you embark in a business like rearing cow, probably that's what you inherited from your parents. They didn't take you to school to do other things. The state where you come from must accommodate you, because cow need enough space to graze. So the state, it is obligation on the state where you come from to give you a place to graze.
Do you think it's better to
So,
be done in the north or?
No.
Which part? Where do you?
If the
idea is for it to be spread across the country, really.
if my recollection is right, I think it's the northern part of Nigeria that rear cow. If the southeast are rearing cow, it is the responsibility of the governor of each of the states or any states in the southeast that is rearing cow to give grazing land by way of ranching to rear that cow, because rearing cow is not like a supermarket.
Sorry, I have to cut you. Donald, can you hear us, please? Donald, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, I'd like to pose the same question to you. If you've been hearing what we're saying, we're trying to talk about solutions to the security issue going on in Nigeria at the moment. What solution would you prefer if you become the president, given the solutions they have on the table of preferring the solution of ranching, which they feel would support, but it's been getting a lot of backlash from some of the governors who think, based on perception, that it's about land grabbing and all of that. What solution would you prefer?
Well, personally, I'd like to address the problem of insecurity in Nigeria holistically. It's not just about establishing ranches nationwide, whether north or south. We need to get to the fundamentals right: law and order. Law and order and rule of law is found wanting in Nigeria today. And as a result, people can inflict damages, maim and kill innocent Nigerians with the hope that nothing is going to happen to them. But when you fix law and order, the issue of security will take care of itself. Even the military will be under the authorities of the law and order of the nation. The president himself has some expectations and obligations under the law. And if he does not toe the line of law and order, he himself is culpable. So as president, I would like to address the issue of law and order holistically. Ensure that the judiciary is well reformed, ensure that the police is well reformed, and ensure that anyone who does anything against the laws of the land, whether it's killing of innocent Nigerians will have maximum consequences. Zero tolerance for, lawlessness. That's point number one. Now, the issue of ranching, because of the level of intolerance and disunity in our nation, we often find to the extent of having the fundamentals of ranching in place. Put the do's and the don'ts. Even if you have to have a ranch, you must first of all make sure that the ranching conforms with the HSC policies of the nation. We have to look at the issue of occupational health. So it's not just about ranching, but it has to be regulated. There has to be policies in place. There has to be inspectorates that we ensure that even the cattle that are going to be reared will meet, the required medical, environmental, health, and safety, checks in place. So for me, I think that the issue of ranching is not even the solution to the problem we're having today. The solution we're having today with regards to insecurity is because we have a lawless country, a country that does not respect rule of law. And as president, I'm going to address that holistically by ensuring that I appoint an Attorney General and Attorney General of Justice and Inspector General of Police that will not hesitate to prosecute anyone found wanting, that they're our shared will to fix our nation forward. So that's my number one challenge as a president.
And
Thank
Mr.
you.
Donald, the other thing is, since you're talking about that, what's your point or your view about restructuring Nigeria? Since you mentioned
restructuring. Yes, restructuring Nigeria is obviously something that I'd like to, carry forward as president. Because if we say we are Federal Republic of Nigeria, it means that we must subject ourselves to the provisions and principles of federalism, which means that all the federating units that makes up the nation, Nigeria, must be the one that will drive their individual economy and contribute to the center. So when people talk about restructuring, what exactly are their expectations? Restructuring will mean that rather than sharing money from Abuja crude oil proceeds, every federating unit will be made to do what? Fend for themselves. They will have to define their means of survival. At the same time, the issue of state police will have to come into place. Look at the United States, for instance. In the United States, it's a nation of 50, a country of 50, a nation of 50 states. And in each of these states, they've got their own state police. But then you have the federal police, the FBI. Then you have a president. Now, as a president, it is my intention that I will sit down with the National Assembly and we'll begin to tell ourselves the truth. Are we really running federalism, or is that a make-believe federalism that we are practicing? If the answer is no, then why not? Okay. So I support restructuring. Yeah. But in supporting restructuring, the expectations is that I will promote the issue of state police.
Engineer Donald, I'm going to have to bring in Sympathy here, because he's in the studio as well. Because I know if I leave you, you go on and on. We have to share our time. Barrister Sympathy. I keep on Barrister Sympathy. The question I have for you as a PDP aspirant is, the way the PDP have come out and openly declared that they're zoning it to the north. Okay, most people, on social media, when we shared that we're doing this program, some people were wondering, how could you be from the southeast and you're vying for the presidential position, given the open declaration by the PDP that it's being zoned to the north? So our question is, do you see this as a viable aspiration?
Yes, thank you very much. I call you Chike, don't I? Yes. Yes. The thing is, my party, PDP, we've been in power for 16 years. There's this delicate balance of power in Nigeria. and we take cognizance of that delicate power balance, which is the North and South. You see, my party, one can argue from any school of thought that even though competency is the norm of our party, but we are playing to an extent to pacify this balance of power. Hence, we now say, let peace reign, we zone into the North. But I am vying from diaspora. I don't live in the North. I'm not in the North. I'm not in the East. I'm not in the West. I'm a diasporan. I want to come back home and do things, put things right. I was sent here to come and learn new things, different way of doing things. And I've learned a lot. I have the experience, the know-how to make a positive change in my country. There's argument, rightly so. Understand? One can even argue that, well, we gave it to the North. Let competency be seen from the eyes of the Northerners. Because in every zone, one can claim we have a competent leader to lead Nigeria in the 6 geopolitical zones. But now, in our wisdom, as a political party that has been in power for so many years, we now say, let zones determine the competency whom they bring out. But because I am not there, I am bringing something new to my country, and I've made my position clear to my party. If they elect me during the primaries, haven't heard from me, haven't had the radical way and thinking that I'm bringing forward, of course, I will lead the party. If they don't, I support whoever that emerges and campaign with them. The point is, Nigeria must move forward. We can't be dealing with incompetent leaders. The problem we have is leadership. We have to lead. If we can't lead our country, we contract it out. The job must be done. I'm coming to that later on.
Engineer Donald, one more question before we go on break. It's similar to what Spencer just asked Mazi here, but the question the way I'm putting this question now is, you're representing a new party, YPP. Has this party the national spread required to win a presidential election, especially in the North, knowing that right now is zoned to the North and you're coming from the South? Does this party, do they stand chance?
Thank you, Melin. Talking about zoning, yes. The YPP abhors zoning as a political party because we believe that zoning promotes mediocrity. So in the Young Progressive Party, we believe the best should emerge. And because we promote the principle of I am a Nigerian ideology, it does not matter to us where you're from, whether you're from the North or from the South, or Muslim or Christian. The PDP has not led us right as a nation in the last 16 years, and neither is APC leading us well as a nation at the moment. So they have promoted the divisions that exist amongst us as a people. The YPP is hoping to plug that division gap by ensuring that we throw the presidential race open to every Nigerian and get the most qualified person for the job to lead our country forward. Talking about national spread, we are a political party. Every old party was once a new party. Now, every nation, as we know, gets the kind of leadership they deserve. We are appealing to Nigerians to review PDP rule in the last 16 years prior to APC's current rule and tell themselves the truth, whether we are where we are supposed to be as a nation. We cannot continue to move around in circles. So we believe that Nigerians are getting reorientated and they are going to embrace our party if President Muhammadu Buhari and the APC and PDP in some states they control will allow credible election, free and fair election, not a repetition of what we saw in Ekiti State. If they can guarantee free and fair election, I can assure you that Nigerians are yearning for positive change. And in the young progressive, never again shall we go back to the PDP days. A party that ruined our nation. A party that has no policy
before we
for
come
corruption.
back, I think Barrister, do you have anything to say with what he's saying?
Yes, of course. He's a politician. He's campaigning to win election, convinced. You see, the point is, when you talk of PDP, you think of PDP, you think of a political party that wiped out the debt of Nigeria, $32 billion. Paris Club. Obasanjo did it in 2006. When you talk of PDP, you talk of a that made Nigeria for the first time overtook South Africa as the #1 economy in Africa. Now, I said earlier on, it's all about leadership. This PDP man, Barrister Sympathy Nwosu, will give Nigerians uninterrupted electricity. Let me tell you how I'm going to do it. Today, we have over 40 billion cubic barrels of oil deposited in Nigerian soil. If I emerge as a president, I will approach OPEC to allow us to increase our barrels, sell our quota. If OPEC refuses, I will go to the extent of us selling our oil in black market, at least 10 to 15 billion. And use that money to energize our country, and equally use part of it to invest in greener technology, like solar, windmill. You know, we don't have to think, how are we going to energize Nigeria? Also, I will ban the importation of generators so that people will be compelled to think it is necessary for us to be able to have uninterrupted electricity. I will give Nigerians electricity, and that will make it possible.
Okay.
Hello, Sympathy. Sorry, talking about electricity, my barrister. Talking about electricity, I believe, hearing what you have just said now, and what we know about the PDP, that you people don't have the right philosophy to address the issue of electricity challenges we're facing in Nigeria today as a nation. As an engineer, I'm coming with the mindset of fixing things. The right philosophy we need to embrace in electricity in Nigeria is to minimize waste and maximize generation. Now, we have a challenge in our hand in today's electricity, value chain. As president, I am going to get Nigerians to only pay for the electricity they use. Part of the problem we have as a nation is because we want to have electricity, but we have not created the framework to make energy users to pay for the electricity they consume. As an engineer, I'm going to sit down with the operators, not just an engineer, an oil and gas engineering consultant that understands the issue of oil and gas production from reservoir to topside. I will sit with the operators of the oil companies, oil producing companies in Nigeria, and we together determine the right commercial value for our gas. We have a nation like Nigeria that has built
sorry for my intrusion.
Gas plant.
Sorry for my intrusion here. Could you tell Nigerians how much kilowatts do we produce from the national grid for you to now say the problem is about not paying for your bill? How many thousand kilowatts do we produce from our national grid? Tell Nigerians.
at the moment, we are hovering between 4,000 to 7,000 megawatts, not even kilowatts.
So can that, if everybody pays for their usage, will that be enough for Nigerians? Is that what we need?
No,
because you are talking about people not paying for usage, while we are not producing enough. We are not producing enough from our national grid.
I wasn't interrupting you when you're talking. Barrister, listen to me. I said that we need to get the right philosophy, the right electricity philosophy as a nation. We need to minimize electricity waste, and we need to maximize electricity generation and get Nigerians to pay for the electricity they use. Now, how we are going to maximize electricity generation is the next question. And I'm telling you now that given what I know about Nigeria, we produce just about 5,000 megawatts of electricity. That's what we are able to transmit at optimal transmission, even though
yes, just not enough.
1,000 megawatts. However, as president, I am going to ensure that we increase our electricity from the current 5,000 megawatts to 20,000 megawatts within our first 4 years of government. How am I going to do that?
How are you going to do that?
Listen, we have a nation that has built liquefied natural gas plant in Bonny River State. The oil producers in Nigeria believe that the right commercial value for our gas that drive our electricity has not been established. That is why they produce these gases, liquefy it, and then bulk ship it to overseas, where the right commercial value has been determined. Now, abandoning our nation in darkness. Now, the federal government of Nigeria needs to sit down with the operators of oil and gas companies in Nigeria. We determine the right commercial value for our gases, and then we channel them towards the maximum production of electricity in Nigeria, rather than shipping it abroad to drive, electricity production and energy subsidization abroad. That is one area.
Can I cut you off, please, for a second? Because we're going to have to go on a break in a minute. But before we go on the break, you talked about what happened in Ekiti State. And for me, that's a major issue for particularly parties like yours. Your party, that's a young party, the YPP. The PDP over the years have shown that they have the money, they have the resources. I mean, Barrister Sympathy Nwosu, to some people, his aspirations look more credible because the party has money behind them. They have a lot of millionaires and people who can fund the aspiration, via the buying of votes. Now, if that's the order of the day, because at the moment that's what it is, whether you like it or not, that's the reality on ground. Are the YPP willing, maybe not willing, but able to match them toe to toe, money for money, manifesto to manifesto, to be able to get to the position of power, to be able to implement these ideas you have?
Yeah, but you will answer that when we come back on break, because it's time for us to go on break. So please, that's a question for you to answer when we come back. And viewers out there, you're still tuned to Prime View. And like I said earlier on, is a show where we have a program where we take the views of Nigerians all over, both in Nigeria, both in UK, everywhere, discuss them like we're discussing now, and then pose it to you, because I know most of you are politically exposed. So please join us when we come back after the break. Stay tuned.
For more details, contact us now. Fujitsu Batteries, quality, engineered in Japan.
Welcome to Kurama Lounge Pan-African Restaurant, bringing you the finest taste of African food to the heart of East London. Choose from a variety of Pan-African menu or try our point and kill fresh catfish. We are located in 308 Barking Road, East Ham, London, E6 3BA. For table bookings, birthday bookings, baby shower and private events, call us on 0203 302 6565 or 07532 789 480 Koramo Lounge.
A great product just landed in Africa to power your devices. A product with high performance and high durability. Fujitsu batteries, distributed by IQ Distributions. Fujitsu has both industrial and consumer battery types suitable for various devices. The consumer battery types include alkaline batteries, carbon zinc batteries, rechargeable batteries, lithium batteries to power devices like torchlight, wristwatch, mouse, cordless phone, remote, car remote, camera, calculator, radio, microphone, motherboard, keyboard, gamepad, toys, electric toothbrush, smoke detector and lots more. Reputable, reliable and result-oriented distributors are wanted in Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa and the entire sub-Saharan Africa region. To apply, simply visit www.iqdistributions.com. Complete the reseller application form, upload the required documents, and submit. Once your application is approved, you will be given access to make purchases on the website. For more details, contact us now. Fujitsu batteries, quality, engineered in Japan.
Welcome back. You're still on Prime View. We're reaching you from England, London, and via the video link, we have a YPP presidential aspirant, Engineer Donald Igwegbu. And in the studio, we have Barrister Sympathy Nwosu.
Thank you.
PDP.
Thank
Welcome,
you. Thank you. Thank you.
And
Yes, I'd like to go back to the question
before we go back to the question, and you have my co-host here.
Okay, it's Spencer anyway. Yes.
Oh, it's been heated up a little bit in the studio.
Thank you.
And the last question was on Donald.
Donald, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yes, the question,
I'm hearing
if
you.
you can remember it, was to do with the YPP being a young party, and obviously the perception is that you don't have the financial muscle to match parties such as the PDP and the APC. And the question is, are you able to match him? Do you have godfathers? Who are your sponsors? You know, and in the like what we saw in Ekiti State, because you mentioned it, the reality of today, which is we're not promoting it in any way. We obviously, you know, abhor it. Votes buying is what we're seeing. It happened in Anambra State. That was the beginning. Well, it's always happened, but it manifested itself in Anambra State, and in Ekiti State, it became enshrined. So in 2019, the fear is that it's going to happen even more so when it comes to the presidential race. So if you do get the ticket, how do you plan to combat this reality?
Thank you, Spencer. Every nation gets the kind of leadership they deserve. We have seen where the issue of votes buying and stomach infrastructure, which is the hallmark of PDP and the APC, has led to Nigerians. The campaign we are running today for Nigerians is that we must reject this ideology in our political terrain. Whereas we know that finances are important in executing election, it is not the intention of the YPP, even if we have all the money in the world, to bribe anyone or buy votes. So, as an ideology, we abhor that, and we are appealing to Nigerians to reject those money. Look at 4,000 naira being paid to people in Ekiti State to vote for somebody. So that means you are collecting 1,000 naira per year. And then you turn back and tell me that you don't have water, you don't have electricity, you don't have good roads. So the ideology, we are new parties, we are progressive party. We are going out there with the message that never again shall we allow the likes of PDP and APC that are destroying the country by this stomach infrastructure politics and politics of votes buying to end. We will be able to raise money among progressive-minded Nigerians to be able to carry out the minimum logistics required to run a clean election. That is the new Nigeria we are hoping to build.
Sorry,
Through the masses, through the masses, through the masses, through people who believe that the time for positive change is now. Enough of this stomach infrastructure. It has not led us anywhere. Enough of this votes buying. It has not led us anywhere as a nation. And I would expect media houses like yourselves, both print and electronic media houses, to begin to champion and propagate the message of positive change for Nigerians. Don't give these PDP and APC the opportunity to express how they are going to spend looted funds. Enough of all that.
Engineer Donald, Barrister is still in the studio with us. Barrister, the same question, I want to rephrase it a little bit. Nigerians cried out so much.
I had the question.
Yeah, that what I want to put it now is they cried out so much about corruption in Nigeria, and they blamed Jonathan so much about it. And when APC came up, the first thing that Buhari said was, okay, we're going to fight corruption, war against corruption. But Nigerians are still crying out, if you become the president, how are we going to clear this name? You know, the name of PDP 16 years went down, and now you coming under the same platform?
Well, thank you very much. It is on record that PDP is the only party that prosecuted and sentenced an inspector general of police. It's on record. It is on record that PDP is the party that formed the EFCC, Economic and Financial Crime Commission. Yeah, we formed that in order to combat corruption. Corruption under PDP was very minimal. And if I take Ekiti, what happened in Ekiti, as a test case under APC, you can see that you can't compare what happened during our tenure in office and what is happening now. Even though APC fighting corruption in their own way, but we did fight corruption. We fought it to the maximum. But as you can see, it depends whom it affects and who is talking. PDP have monumental infrastructures in place that you can point out today and say, yes, they put in this to fight corruption, just like I've given as an example, the EFCC. So we are a party that fights corruption. I'm going to say this. Donald Party, the youth party, is a young party.
The Young Progressive Party.
Yeah, young progressive party. It's a young party, and I wish them luck. We want the youth to come up, and we want to invest in the youth. But one question I want to put to him, did your party contest in Ekiti? If they did,
that's exactly.
Did your party contest election in Ekiti? Then if you contested, the reason why you failed, was it because you didn't campaign properly and you were not able to convince people to vote you without taking money? Because I don't want to dwell into that now because the matter is in court, so I can't say whether corruption took place or not. But my question is, if your party contested, why didn't they win?
The question is quite relevant.
Okay.
If your party...
yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Barrister Sympathy.
Yes.
Yeah, I do. The reality remains that neither the PDP nor the YPP were declared the winner of that election. And if the PDP, despite the money they claim they have, still lost that election, why is it so? Now, that takes us back to the basics of credible election. free and fair election. So it's not about how much you have to disburse to buy votes, but to what extent are the votes going to count? Just like you said, as a barrister, you don't want to discuss a case that is already in court. Hopefully, they have filed their cases in court. But the bottom line remains that the issue of credible, free, and fair election is largely found wanting in our country. And that's the message we are bringing about, reforms that are holistic and sustainable. You have spent the money as a party, the PDP, but did you win the election? The answer is no. You didn't win the election. So rather than continue to live, believing that your money is going to fetch you victory, you have seen a test case in Ekiti State that your money couldn't fetch you any victory. I will plead with PDP to join the YPP in the campaign for total reform of our electoral system. That's the only way you can guarantee. Yes, please.
Engineer Donald, I'd like to ask you a quick question. From
yes,
what you just
yes,
said,
Spencer, thank you.
Yeah, from what you just said and what we saw in Ekiti State, for me, the underlying factor there was the issue of poverty. Because if people are poor, then they are vulnerable to such financial inducements, such pittance.
And who caused this poverty? PDP.
So my question to you, though, as a presidential aspirant, is how do you intend to? What measures do you have in place for poverty eradication or elevation? Yes. And obviously, I'll ask the same to Barrister Sympathy.
The measures I have is very simple. Everything you see happening in Nigeria today, whether it is infrastructural deficit, whether it is poverty in the land, is as a result of corruption, hyper-corruption in Nigeria, fested on us by the lies of the People's Democratic Party and All Progressive Congress. As president, I am going to guarantee maximum transparency in all the things we do. I'm going to ensure that rule of law and order are in place. By doing this, if money is budgeted for education, for healthcare, for agriculture, for anything, we are going to ensure that funds are judiciously spent without recourse to individuals looting them to their private pockets. So poverty is what has been infested on us by the people that have led us as a nation in the last 19 years. Not that we don't have money as a country. Nigeria has earned well over $1.3 trillion since 1960 to date. As a nation, we are rich, but individuals have done what? Peter these funds away in their private pockets, buying houses overseas, lodging this money in diaspora accounts. Enough of all that.
Okay,
the new Nigeria we are bringing.
Because of time,
yes,
I'd like
Sympathy to by guaranteeing maximum transparency as a nation,
yes,
as a government,
yes,
poverty will be eliminated.
Okay. Because of time, Barrister Sympathy, what do you have to say about poverty? This PDP had 16 years to do the same. But okay.
Yes, he's free to say all that, but there's a record that why Nwosu and the other soldiers went on the 1966 coup was because of corruption. PDP were not in power then. So the point I'm making is PDP came in and did our best. The point here is to put the youths back to work. My government will create employment. We will ensure both human and capital development is taken care of. For example, if I energize Nigeria and small-scale industries start producing, they will employ all the people working without any employment on our streets and stealing and joining Boko Haram. They will all go back to work. They are all vulnerable now and susceptible to all sorts of ills. Understand? So my government will create employment for the youth, create employment for everyone. It is a government that will go on the streets of Kanu and other parts of Nigeria and get the brains, the beggars, the alamajaris, go to Lagos and get Nigerian children, put them back in school, put them back to work. And again, I will do one thing probably no one has said. I will pay reparation to the Igbos, not because I'm an Igbo man, because I think it is just and equitable for what they went through during the war. I will work in tandem with Shell BP to ensure that no more spillage of oil in the rivers and Bayelsa and other places that oil is being. I will equally pay compensation to those affected by the spillages. I will ensure that I give Ajaokuta steel industry a new face and they start producing steel. So the cars and other bridge building materials can be produced in Nigeria. We have to do the job. Nigeria is our country. We can't rely on important things and not doing the right thing. Please, we have to do the job.
Engineer Donald,
Thank you very much.
My other question to you is on leadership. What experience do you have in leadership to think you can lead a country as diverse as Nigeria?
Thank you very much. This is a recurring question because we have this erroneous impression that for you to make a good president, you must first of all have to be a former governor or president, or rather senator or whatever. That's not true. We have seen where people who have been former governors and former senators have led us as a nation. Now, the picture you're showing there is a picture of 2004, when I graduated from a master's degree program in oil and gas engineering from the Robert Gordon University here in Scotland. I have 17 years postgraduate experience, practical hands-on experience as an engineer, as a consultant. I've led engineering teams, I've managed contracts involving large scales of money. Now, there is what they call transferable skills. As president, I am going to ensure that I bring the private sector experience in the public sector. I am going to introduce reforms like service level agreements, whereby as a government, if we say these are the things we are going to do, we have a delivery timeline. At the moment, I don't see that happening, despite the years of experience they claim they have. Yes, please.
I'm going to have to, because of time, yeah? I think we might have to do
Yeah.
this again. Bring them back. If we are not
Okay, that's fine.
Because of time.
That's fine, but it's important you give me the time to explain.
Yes.
It's important I get the time to explain.
Yes.
You understand?
The question I want to ask you, the final question, which I'm going to pose to both of you, since both of you are in diaspora, the question is, what do you, because there's a wealth of experience we all see in the Western world. My question is, what one thing would you take back from here to see implemented in Nigeria? Quickly, in 1 minute, please, if you can, Donald, and now I'll pose the same question to Barr. Sympathy.
Thank you. One thing I'm going to assure Nigerians as president, once I get elected, is that I am going to do whatever it takes to ensure that we have law and order in our country. Law and order is one thing that I've seen that has helped to fix the Western nations, and that is largely found wanting in our own country. I'm going to introduce the issue of transparency, accountability, and zero tolerance for corruption as a president.
Okay,
thank you.
And perhaps the sympathy.
Well, I am a detribalized Nigerian. I will take back Nigerian consciousness. I will put in Nigerians consciousness for them to believe in their country. You know, when you believe in something and you are dealing with it, you achieve results. Today, I don't believe that all Nigerians believe in that project Nigeria. Otherwise, you wouldn't be having this dichotomy of Yoruba, Hausa, North. You know, we have to have Nigerian consciousness, which will give us a leader that is competent, not a leader because of where he comes from. So when once you have that consciousness, goes with love. Love for every Nigerian. When you love Nigerians, you can't be killing them. So I will prove to Nigerians that yes, we can all live in peace and harmony. The others will follow. Others will follow. Thank you.
Well, I wish you every luck in your
Thank you.
missions.
Thank you.
Inspiration.
Thank you very much.
Going forward. Engineer Donald, can you hear me?
Thank you.
Before we leave, I wish
Yes,
you every
I'm hearing you,
success
Spencer.
going forward in your political ambition, and God willing.
Thank you very much.
We'll
I wish to have more
Yeah,
time.
we'll bring you back to.
No, we'll come back again. This will be part one. We'll have part
Thank you, Donald. I wish you luck.
Thank you, Barrister Sympathy. Also, I wish you all the best too.
Thank you, my brother.
And our
Thank
viewers
you.
out there, we thank you for watching. And until next Saturday, this Saturday, Friday?
Next Friday.
Next Friday, same time. This is Prime View with Mystic Malin, myself.
And I'm Spencer. And then we'll see you later. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome to Koramo Lounge Pan-African Restaurant, bringing you the finest taste of African food to the heart of East London. Choose from a variety of Pan-African menu or try our point and kill fresh catfish. We are located in 308 Barking Road, East Ham, London, E6 3BA. For table bookings, birthday bookings, baby shower and private events, call us on 0203 302 6565 or 07532 789 480. Koramo Lounge. Welcome to Koramo Lounge.
A great product just landed in Africa to power your devices. A product with high performance and high durability. Fujitsu batteries, distributed by IQ Distributions. Fujitsu has both industrial and consumer battery types suitable for various devices. The consumer battery types include alkaline batteries, carbon zinc batteries, rechargeable batteries, lithium batteries to power devices like torchlight, wristwatch, mouse, cordless phone, remote, car remote, camera, calculator, radio, microphone, motherboard, keyboard, gamepad, toys, electric toothbrush, smoke detector and lots more. Reputable, reliable and result-oriented distributors are wanted in Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa and the entire sub-Saharan Africa region. To apply, simply visit www.iqdistributions.com. Complete the reseller application form, upload the required documents, and submit. Once your application is approved, you will be given access to make purchases on the website. For more details, contact us now. Fujitsu batteries, quality, engineered in Japan.
Heritage Television. Promoting African culture and heritage at its best. From talk shows that concern you to both local and international news that relates to you. From grassroots football to African children's programs. Heritage Television. We cover your social and special events like weddings, birthdays, church anniversaries and so on, and broadcast them live on our apps and online. Heritage Television, broadcasting everything about culture and heritage. Heritage Television. We've got it covered. Do download our apps on both Android, iOS, and Windows mobile platform. Heritage Television, your very own TV station.